Very interesting. So let's do a special edition of Lions and Packers and Bears, oh my, as we look around that division. Let's start with Detroit. Dan Campbell hit all the right buttons on Sunday when he took over calling plays on offense. They posted season highs in yards of offense and rushing yards. He got the most out of his stars. Jahmyr Gibbs, season high in scrimmage touchdowns. Jameson Williams had a season high in receiving yards. Jeff, how big a deal should we make of the fact, some would want to point out, was against a really struggling defense in Washington.
Yeah.
Do you think Dan Campbell taking?
I like the decision that he made to take it. I do think it's going to go back to John Morton. I think this, he likened this when you heard him talk about it. Dan Campbell likened this to what he did with Ben Johnson. I think it went 20 or 21. I can't remember what year he said. Probably more about players than actual plays. And so, again, it's a big number. Detroit is don't miss the fact that they got a great offensive line, two great backs, great receivers, great tight end. Like, you should score points with this offense. I don't think Dan Campbell is trying to oversimplify it more than that. He just wants it done his way.
Nika, the Lions, the team to beat in the NFC North.
Yeah, I mean, I think given what we've seen, the ups and downs from the Packers, and given what we've seen from the rest of the teams and the Vikings quarterback situation.
Let's talk about those Bears, Lewis.
Yeah.
They're currently the 6th seed
on that door.
Yes.
And you can't discount the Vikings because of the number one reason why you love the Vikings. Because Kevin O'Connell's a fantastic coach.
I love it.
So is Josh McCown. And JJ will play better down the stretch.
Yeah.
The one thing we did say before the season started, which is true, this is one of the best divisions in football.
Absolutely.
It'll come right down to the wire, and it's doing just that.
This is such a, I think, too, because the NFC West is going to
That's the deal.
Yeah.
I think the burden on J.J. McCarthy is unlike any other quarterback. Every single game he plays, it's a complete judgment on his draft class where he was taken, they traded up for him, and who they let out of the building with Sam Darnold and Daniel Jones. It's not his fault, and yet every single game he plays, we're going to do this on the show and be like, did they make a mistake in doing it?
We spent all the time talking about A.J. Brown not getting targeted. The J.J. McCarthy and Justin Jefferson connection has got to be better.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating division. We'll keep talking about it as we go, and then First Take will pick up the ball and run with saying all will be well. When push comes to shove, who's going to win that division?
I'm going Lions.
Yeah, Lions.
I'm going Lions.
I'm going to stick with the Packers. That was my preseason pick. I'm going to stick with
Yeah.
I'm with you.
Thank you.
Really? Packers. That's my preseason.
Because their defense?
Oh, you guys must not have heard Dan Campbell took over play calling.
Yes, he did.
Yes, you must.
They did good.
You must have forgot.
So Angry Pete from New Jersey, our coordinating producer extraordinaire, brought up that question yesterday. Did we not talk about that enough? How big a deal is it that Dan Campbell took over the play calling in Detroit?
Well, I mean, I think it might be unfair because they went up against Washington, which is not a particularly great offense. But to be fair with what Dan Campbell did, we criticized him the week prior in that loss of not getting the ball to Gibbs and J-Mo specifically. Yeah. Dan Campbell showed up with a play sheet that had names on it, not plays. And he was like, this side and that side. Yeah, we're going to get it to these guys, and they are going to make plays in isolation.
Can I say, this to me was one of the best coaching conversations that I have heard in my time covering football. When they asked Dan Campbell about this, he talked about Ben Johnson and this happening to Ben Johnson and the way that he talked. I want it a certain way. If you're the head coach, it's your team. I want it done a certain way. And if you do it my way, we're good. You'll continue to make calls. You'll continue to do it. Let me show you what I'm trying to get done. Follow me, watch me, and then replicate what I do. If we lose, I'll live with it. But I'm not going to lose your way. And I appreciate that because the truth is he didn't cut John Morton the way he could. He said, listen, he'll be back calling plays again, but we're going to walk this thing together. I thought from true leadership, we always talk about it, that was true leadership as a coach from Dan Campbell.
Can I just say quickly, you talked about Dan Campbell taking over the play calling and them going out there balling. Well, the result of that game is now Dan Quinn for the Commanders is taking over play calling their defense. So it just goes to show you, yes, positive on that side, but Nick, when you said it, going against the Commanders defense,
they're struggling, man.
We'll talk more about that division as we go. Interesting questions about Chicago, interesting questions about Minnesota. We'll get to them all. We'll also get to Sunday statements. Rex, give me someone who you thought made a Sunday statement yesterday.
Dan Campbell. Dan Campbell's the man. I'm not saying that because he kicked the crap out of me. I'm telling you, this guy right here, you see, it looks like he's doing the play calling and things, but he got his dynamic playmakers involved. Jahmyr Gibbs had a monster day, 172 total yards, 3 touchdowns. And guess what? They have another receiver outside of Amon-Ra St. Brown. Who is this? Jameson Williams. By the way, you could slow it up in slow motion. He still looks fast. The guy is maybe the fastest player in the league. And Dan Campbell got his pieces together and said, no, I'm going to go to my explosive playmakers, and it made a huge difference in this game. Welcome back, Detroit Lions.
They looked like the Lions we were expecting to see a lot of this year yesterday, D-Wood.
Well, what do you know? When you get the ball to your best players, usually good things happen for you. And that's what Dan Campbell did. That's why he took over the play call.
Last week, Jahmyr Gibbs was barely on the field.
Jamison Williams hasn't had a target.
He's a blocker.
Like how
He
many
played
weeks?
guard that game.
Jahmyr Gibbs he was picking up the blitz like on every single play. They got so outcoached in that game, it was ridiculous. And so Dan Campbell said, I've seen enough of that. He stole Sean Payton's huge play card. He called the plays yesterday, and it all worked out well. All right, Alex, give me someone else who made a Sunday statement.
I mean, I think I could say this every week for this guy, but Matthew Stafford. I mean, this another 4-touchdown performance for this guy in a huge divisional game against the Niners. Listen, there's a little West Coast bias, obviously, in the media.
Right.
The whole NFL world needs to take notice of what's happening with the Rams, right? The whole NFC should be on notice. These guys are a complete football team. He's playing quarterback at the highest level. I mean, made NFL history, 20 touchdowns and 0 interceptions.
Let's show
in
it.
his last 6 games.
This is the history. Matthew Stafford is 37 years old. He leads the league in passing yards and touchdowns. And to your point, in the last 6 games, he has thrown 20 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. He is the only player in NFL history to throw as many as 20 touchdowns with no picks in a 6-game span.
It's like it's a video game for him. In watching him, and again, it is precision. I mean, he can still throw the football, maybe better than anybody. And again, he's been in this offense now for quite a while. He's got a lot of contributors. I mean, it's just masterclass.
And in the theme of the day, look at the head coach and look at the quarterback and look what the head coach quarterback combination is doing now for the Los Angeles Rams. They are as good as any team in football. And by the way, the Rams and the Seahawks in the NFC West. Ooh.
That's next week.
Let's get into that. With my Sunday statement, Shefty, how about the Seattle Seahawks and that defense?
They are good.
You want to talk about the Rams, the Seattle Seahawks and that defense. I mean, they laid waste to the Arizona Cardinals yesterday. We were talking in the production meeting how literally you went to the bathroom and it was 28-0.
Is your stomach feeling better, Alex?
It's a 110.
But your point.
Yeah, my point is like this Seattle team, for anyone who doesn't watch the Seattle Seahawks, you better start tuning in. This team is for real. They're on top of the NFC West along with the Rams. Yep. And boy, do we have a hell of a matchup. I think it's next week with the Seattle Seahawks and the Rams going head to head. I can't wait to watch that.
And Alex, you were making the point this morning. If the road to the Super Bowl winds up going through Seattle, what does that mean?
I mean, for folks that have never experienced playing at Seattle, especially if it's a playoff game,